Today we're making something we've never done before. You saw the title, you know why we're here. See, everybody loves smoky. Smoked meats, smoked fish, smoked cheese, smoky from Friday.
God damn!
But the thought of drinking liquid smoke can make some people scratch their heads. You might know this one, but I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. Then Todd from Northern Brewers sent us this one. It was delicious and inspired us to make a smoked beer. By the way, I know what you're thinking. Where did Maury get that shirt? HOMEBREWforlife.net. Christmas is right around the corner. Check out our merch. It's the gift that keeps on giving. But enough about the merch. Let's make some beer. And if you're listening to my voice right now, that means you're here. Congratulations. You just passed the first test. Today it's just me and it is you. What is going on, guys? It's CH from Homebrew for Life, here with a video that I'm very excited for. I'm talking very excited, like nose beers off fake titties excited. I don't care if it's a dude. But before we get into brew day, let's talk a little bit about the style and the history. Rauchbier. I think it's like a YEAST in regards to nobody on planet Earth can actually pronounce it. We're just gonna go ahead and call it smoked beer. As you can imagine, this beer stems from Germany. The home of the original sick one, Hangover City. I've never been to an Oktoberfest, let alone Germany, but I really want to. Maybe next year. This style dates back to the 15th century, but has since lost its popularity over time. The reason it's called smoked beer? Because the malts are dried out from wooden flames. It's quite the process, as some of the wood is dried out for up to 3 years. Fortunately, we didn't have to do any of that. We just hit up northernbrewer.com. There's a few smoked malts out there, but we just went after the most available one. Wyerman Smoked Malts. Outside of smoked malts, the brewing process is the same. I'm mixing up the system today. This is my first attempt at brewing a bag by myself. Trent Musho, aka the Brew Show, taught me the ropes a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't believe how convenient it was. Just need a bag, a clamp, maybe some gloves, and the top shelf of this thing. 40% of my grain bill will be smoked malt, and I'm gonna go with Maris Otter over 2 row since I'm looking for a darker color today. And then 1 pound English medium. 10 pounds total, and 4 pounds of it being smoked malt. I don't know if this is too much or not enough. Stick around to the end, but I do know that this stuff is potent. Definitely smells like smoked fish. Since I'm doing brew in a bag, I don't have to worry about getting a stuck mash, so I milled my grains 3 times. And I'm not sure how long I'm gonna mash in with smoked malt, so I just did 45 minutes to play it safe. Using 2 ounces of some of my favorite brown ale hops. I did have a boil over. Haven't had one of these in a while. It's okay to make mistakes though. Shows us that we're human. The anvil burner is awesome. It just caught me slipping today. Gonna do a 30-minute boil with a hop addition at 30 minutes and at 15 minutes. As for the yeast, 2 packs of White Labs London Ale yeast. These are just getting old, so I'm just gonna pitch both of them. Big shout out to the apartment brewer Steve for sending me these beers. We will be drinking them on the live stream this Thursday. Chilled to about 80 degrees. Transferred it to my fermenter. For those who do not know, plastic is my go-to for fermenters, and these ones are awesome, and they're actually 6.5 gallons. The next morning we had decent activity in the airlock. Nothing too crazy, but nothing too slow. As for the brew day, so far so good. If you've made it this far, let's have a cheers. But I'm not just talking about any cheers. I'm talking about the cheers that you earn. I'm talking about the working man's cheers. I'm talking about the working women's cheers. Those who break their backs all day just to come home and be unappreciated. The people that sit in traffic all day, 1-hour commute to and from each way when their AC doesn't work, nor does their tape deck work. I'm talking about the people that sit there every day in front of their shitty bosses while their bosses just blab and blab and blab and blab and blab. If you hate your boss, and I hate your boss. This one's for you, Brashes.
This is the
Subscribe to Homebrew for Life. All right, so it's 5 days later. I've got the clone. I've got my smoky beer right here, and I've got the clone right here. Not really a clone, but it's my point of reference, and it's way darker, as you can see, and it's good. It's a Marzen. That's the only word I can read on that bottle. I'd say out of 10, it's about an 8 as far as smoky goes. 8 out of 10, or 80% smoky. Now, as far as mine goes, say it's about a 4 or 5. So for 5-gallon batch, you're doing 10 pounds. Just add as much smoked malt as you want to. It is 5 days later. We did the forced carb trick that we made a video on, and we used the forced carbstone method. So we're drinking this beer within 4 to 5 hours after we kegged it. Overall, the beer looks great. The entire recipe is in the description. The smokiness is definitely not too overpowering. I'd probably make it a little bit more next time. In all fairness, I was worried about making a 5-gallon batch of this. I just thought 5 gallons was too much and it would sit in my fridge. But I think it's a great beer for homebrewers and experimenting. If I had a commercial brewery with a 10-barrel system, would I make this beer? Probably not. Definitely not. Unless the trend came back and I could make a ton of money. But on a brewer scale, on a 5-gallon system, I'm glad I made it. I'm glad I experimented with this. Check this one off the list or make it again. I like it a lot, actually. The only problem with this beer is that it doesn't have a name. So comment your name down below. I'll give you a shout out or pin it. Or if I ever have some shitty brewery one day, I'll name it after you, whatever that name is. We'll talk about it on the Hoppy Hour, something like that. And if you're looking at my shitty face right now, then thank you. I'll see you guys on the stream every single Wednesday and Thursday night. And that's it. Cheers to eating good and cheers to drinking good.